believe I'm saying this, but today on the channel we have what might be the ultimate dad car, the Porsche Taycan Turbo S. I can't believe it. We're going to be checking just how practical it is, trying to get all the child seats in the back. How many children can you fit in this thing? And then I'm going to get to drive what is by far the fastest car I have ever driven. Let's get into it. My name's Ben, and welcome to Dadcars. Now, I've always thought, as soon as these were released, I thought they were really cool looking cars. But sometimes if you look at pictures online, you're scrolling through and you see one of these next to, say, an Aston Martin, you might sort of think that maybe they're not quite as physically imposing as those. But let me tell you, when you actually stood right next to one like this, it's incredible. It's got loads of presence. It really makes a statement. And this full light strip across the back, I think, is really, really cool and really futuristic, and obviously fits the EV nature of this car. I mean, all the Porsches are doing it now, aren't they? But I always love the 9934S for that reason, the red rear reflector strip going into the lights, amazing. And also the 996. The 9964S, I think, is such a good looking car from the rear for that exact reason. I'd love to get one of those on the channel. And just look at the size of these brakes, these carbon fibre discs, and those calipers. They're definitely the biggest brakes I've ever seen on a car. But I guess you need it. 2.4 tons and the acceleration that this thing can do. Ooh. So let's see what the rear seats are like in the Taycan. Wow. Wow, fantastic. I mean, I guess as you would expect. Yeah. Headroom is good. Legroom is good. Very comfortable, very, very nice place to be. And let's check the middle one. We could fit 3 teenagers across the back here, quite comfortably, I think. But let's check child seats. So obviously you have Isofix on the 2 main rear seats here. Let's get those covers off of this. All right, so yes, so that fits in there nicely. Facing baby seats. Fits in there really easily, obviously being a 4-door, and you've got space between that and the passenger seat. So that's fantastic. Now, so obviously with me having 4 young children, my trick is using the travel child seat like this, which I think might just fit back here really well in the middle. Yes. And then check if we can get a proper size one on the other side. So look, just to illustrate, yeah, look, okay, here, this is a belt secured one. It's an old one that we don't use anymore. But look, if that fits in there, you could have a travel child seat in the middle and a baby Isofix seat over there. And then when you no longer need the baby seat, you could have 2 Isofix seats either side because they click in there really well. So yeah, you could have 3 young children across the back and then your eldest in the front. And then this is the travel adjustable booster seat that I use for my eldest in the front seat of my Aston. And that was obviously fitting there really nicely. So yeah, I could have my 5-year-old up here, my 4-year-old, my 2-year-old, and my baby all in the back. Take all 4 children out for a day of Dadcars fun. Amazing. And if you're a normal person and you've only got 2 children or 3 children, you could fit them all across the back and then you could go out with your wife as well. So incredible. This is so practical, isn't it?
You do need to tick the 4+1 option when speccing the car, otherwise it only comes with 2 in the rear. Now, I recently got this from my wife's X5, a way of getting 4 across. I'll be doing a full video on it, but they do an even more compact one, which I think might just fit in the back of the Taycan. So if you've seen my other Dadcar reviews, you'll know I always do the Dadcar's boot test. Basically, I get in the boot, I get out the boot and say, look, I can fit in it, it's big, it's practical. This one went horribly wrong. I genuinely trapped myself in the boot. The owner, Steve, came out a couple of times looking for me and I was shouting for him, but you couldn't hear me. And my phone is on the tripod recording this. So I just had to wait for him to figure out what an idiot I'd been.
Steve, I can't believe I'm so embarrassed.
You locked yourself in the boot?
Oh, but why? As I got in, I thought to myself, yeah, I'll just press the button. Oh. Goodness me, it's fine. I'm so embarrassed though. I'm so embarrassed. That's filming the whole way.
Oh, that's quite unstated. First of all, 1:15, so you've been stuck in there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, look, I can tell you exactly how long I've been stuck in there for. Yeah, 28 minutes. Oh. So yeah, to summarise that saga there, I was in the boot for 28 minutes. And it's funny because my wife just said the other day, she was like, make sure whenever you put yourself in the boot that you don't lock yourself in. I said, they've all got emergency releases, you know, so you can't get trapped in the boot. Bit of consumer advice then, 2022 Porsche Taycan, you can get stuck in the boot. But it's really good size. It's a really good size. I reckon you could, it's so deep, I reckon you could even get a double pram in there. So another nice piece of practicality is these rear seats fold forward. So if you want to pop to IKEA and then drive home as quick as if you were in a Bugatti, you can. Fantastic. This is what I was trying to do while I was stuck in the boot. I was trying to fold them forward because I knew it did it. But at the end of this whole video, if there's any bloopers of me sort of stuck in the boot talking to myself, I'll put them at the end. So yeah, if you're interested, stick around to the end of the video.
Right, let me do a very basic and quick overview of the Taycan. So this is Porsche's first all-electric vehicle. And the base model Taycan, list price starts at £75,000, and then you've got options on top of that. And that's about 400 brake horsepower, 0 to 62 in 5.4 seconds. Then next in the range, you've got the 4S, which I think is the bargain of the bunch. The list price of that starts from around £86,000 before options. But that's got over 500 brake horsepower, 0 to 62 in 4 seconds. Still very, very quick and impressive. Then you've got the GTS, the turbo, but this today, the car that I'm going to be driving is the daddy, is the big boy, the Turbo S. The list price for this starts from over £142,000, around 750 horsepower, and this has been recorded at getting 0 to 60 in around 2.5 seconds. Mind-blowing.
So I was going to talk about EVs whilst driving, but this is going to be a special moment for me, so I don't want to be moaning. But EVs, I reckon the reason why they get my back up and so many petrol heads back up is that they're sort of waved at us, aren't they, as the solution to everything. I live in Portsmouth, one of the most densely populated cities in the whole of Europe. And I would say about 90-95% of people who live in Portsmouth have houses that can never have off-road parking. I mean, sometimes you can't even park on your same road that you live on when you come home from work. So yeah, EVs aren't going to work for them, are they? I've been lusting over one of these. I've said to my wife for the last couple of years since they came out, really, that yeah, look, I'm going to get a Taycan one day. That's going to happen. I can't afford it yet, no way. But maybe one day down the line. But something's happened recently that's kind of lost the shine a little bit of the EV for me, and that is the cost of electricity. It is a consideration. I mean, look, do you remember when fuel went from like £1.60 to over £2 recently? And everyone was going crazy, it was in the media, and every time you go and fill up, it was really painful and it was horrible, wasn't it? But could you imagine if fuel went from £1.60 to like £3, and then from £3 to like £5.50? And then they were saying it's going to go up again next year. The whole world, I think, the whole country would implode. Everything would just fall to its knees, wouldn't it? But that's kind of what's happened with electricity. You know, before, like a couple of years ago, if you'd owned one of these, you probably wouldn't even really notice any difference to your bills. Whereas now, you will. I mean, but then we're talking about, like, you know, performance cars, aren't we? I mean, running an Aston Martin's crazy expensive. This is definitely going to still be cheaper to run than 13 miles per gallon Aston Martin, isn't it? So it's by the by. But just generally speaking, I think, you know, with electricity like it is, it's more of a consideration now. Okay, that's it. Enough of the waffle about EVs. Sorry, thanks for bearing with me. Oh, this is going to be a big moment for me. Wow. Is this really happening? Pinch myself, pinch myself. It's only my second month of YouTube. How did the stars align like this? You know what? This is the first time I've ever driven a Porsche. Or should I say Porsche, sorry. This is the first time I've ever driven a Porsche. And I'm driving one of the fastest ones ever made. Is this happening? Is this real life? Pinch, pinch. Yeah, it is real life. So the owner of this car, Steve, thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. What a lovely guy. He's such a lovely guy, and he's got such a lovely, beautiful family as well. They've been so accommodating of me today, and yeah, honestly, thank you so much, because this is really a dream come true for me personally and for the channel. So yeah, thank you so much, Steve. Thank you. While I'm getting out of here, let's just get through, yeah, like the boring things. I mean, the seating position is fantastic. Visibility out the front's great. It's a nice thing about Porsches, isn't it? You know, they've got the way that the wheel arches come up there. You can place the car really well. I say this is the first time I've ever driven in one. I've been on the passenger side of a few. So the only thing visibility wise really is the rear, like the rear window. You can't really see much out of it at all, but I've driven vans my whole life, so that doesn't ever bother me. I rarely look in my rear view mirror, to be honest. So if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, meh, if I had 150 grand, I'd buy myself an internal combustion engine. That's not a proper car. Well, let me tell you, Steve, the owner of this car, do you know what he's owned for the last 8 years? He's owned a naturally aspirated 6-litre V12 Aston Martin. So all the time that his children were young, just like mine, he's had a DB9. And not just any DB9, he's had a DB9.2, the later revision one, and it's a Volante. I'm literally living the Dadcars dream for the last 8 years. Just incredible. And now he's got this. Possibly the ultimate dad car. So the 360 camera on this is fantastic, but you need it because this is a really big car, and I wouldn't fancy curbing one of these wheels. Right, here we go. This is my first chance to feel what this car is like. Oh my goodness. Literally just touched the accelerator. So here's the thing, right? Everyone loves about naturally aspirated cars like mine is the instantaneous and that sort of consistent pull. Doesn't get more instantaneous than that, does it? So I am driving right now on the Dadcars channel the ultimate dad car, the Porsche Taycan Turbo S. I mean, what else is there? Look, drop it in the description below if you think that there's another contender for the absolute ultimate. What, a 911 Turbo S, a 992? Can't fit 3 across the back in that, can you? You can't fit teenagers in the back of that. What else is there? What, the super SUVs? Look, they're great, aren't they? But it's, for me, your bottom should be this close to the floor in a proper dad car. This is just incredible. I can't believe my 2nd month of YouTube, and look, this is happening right now. God, no, I apologise if this video isn't quite as good as the others. This part of this video, but I'm just going to enjoy this. And I'll try and say a few bits if I can. But this is such a special moment. So, speaking of super SUVs, so this thing weighs 2.4 tons, doesn't it? Which is obviously super heavy. But then if you compare it to, I mean, the other real 4-door, 3 across the back, fast car alternatives, most of them are like SUVs, the DBX, the Urus, those types of things. And those things weigh nearly 2.4 tons. So, when you look at it like that, 2.4 for what this does and the practicality that it offers isn't that bad. And yeah, your bottom is in the right position. It's very close to the road. It's not right up in the air. It's got the right profile, hasn't it, this car? The side profile of it. It's lovely. It's a proper dad car. Gorgeous looking thing. Now I love the colour that Steve spec'd on this car. It's actually a really bright grey, but in person it looks lovely. Really nice. Right, let's get past this cyclist. Quickly. If I could get past this cyclist quickly. Of course I can. I'm driving one of the fastest road cars ever made. Wow. So I'm not a big fan of digital dashes. And, you know, while screens in cars, full stop, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, this has got 3 screens, hasn't it? But it should, it's an EV. This should have a digital dash. This should have loads of screens in it. But this is so much nicer than a Tesla. To be honest, I've not actually driven or sat in. I don't know, I've never sat in a Tesla, but just looking from pictures, it's a bit sparse, isn't it? This here feels like a nice middle ground between being futuristic, but then also feeling like a nice, good quality, solid car as well, you know? Everything feels incredible. The steering, the steering wheel and the steering feel in this car is lovely. It's fantastic. Right, driving modes, hang on. I think I'm still just in like a normal mode from going over those speed bumps. So I popped it into individual because that's what the owner of this car, Steve, recommends. He's kind of got it set up so it sort of feels a bit more like a conventional car. And he's obviously got it in his mode, he's got it so that it makes all the noises as well, which, you know, I agree with. You should have those noises. It's quite an intuitive thing, isn't it, to have a sound that goes along with your acceleration input. So yeah, it's nice. I went to change gear then. So I guess that's the only strange thing, isn't it? It's like I'm normally a manual guy, and then I got the Touchtronic gearbox on my Aston, and I actually quite like the Touchtronic gearbox on my Aston because, you know, you can still sort of get to the right gear ahead of a corner or something like that, and use a bit of engine braking and everything. So you don't have that in here, so it is a bit strange. It's very, very bizarre. It's got real road presence. People do stop and stare. I mean, I must admit, I see them fairly frequently on the road, but every time I see them, I do always admire them, you know, from every angle. I think these cars are tremendous, really good looking cars. So normally I always say, don't I, that modern cars are too fast for UK roads. Doesn't give you enough time to enjoy them. So, well, look, we'll test that out in a minute, won't we? Right, okay. So I'm coming up to a national speed limit. There's no car too close behind me, so I'm going to slow down as much as I can, and then I'm going to put my foot down and feel what it's like. Oh my goodness! Oh my god! Oh my god! I literally felt like all the blood was getting pushed to the back of my body. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. Hang on, right, look. Let's try again a little bit. I've just slowed down to like 35. It's almost painful. It is almost painful. That is incredible. God, that's Steve, the owner of this car, was telling me earlier on about how his teenage children absolutely love launching this thing, and I can see why. That is crazy. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, I'm with you, okay? I don't subscribe to people willy-nilly, okay? I got my YouTubers I like, and I stick to them. I got JM, I got the Bearded Explorer, I've got Ratarossa, I've got Harry's Garage, I've got Tyrrell's Workshop, I've got Number 27, and a few others that I'm sure I'm forgetting. But come on this journey with me, okay? 1 video a week, I'm committed. Come on this journey with me, hit that subscribe button. Oh, goodness. So the reason I didn't bring my children along to film this one today is just because I thought it'd be a bit too scary, and I'm glad I didn't. Even my eldest. The acceleration, I'd have to kind of ease her into it, build her up over time, you know. It is a real physical experience. Oh yeah, teenagers love it. It is like being at Alton Towers or Fort Park or something. It's crazy. But just how capable this machine is, the handling, the grip, it's incredible. So if you've watched my other videos, you'll have heard me say a few times that modern cars are too fast for UK roads, and that, you know, crazy 0 to 60 times is not really usable on UK roads. And, you know, if you've got 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, that just gives you more time to enjoy the car. So I can answer now, can't I? Is this enjoyable? God, yes. God, it's enjoyable. It goes past enjoyable. It's flipping, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's the physical experience that inputs on your body. God, I feel like an astronaut in training. So Steve bought this car this year, so it's a 22. And with the optional extras that he put on, the carbon fibre bits and panoramic sunroof and a few other bits and bobs, I think the list price for this plus options is £150,000. That's a lot of money, isn't it? I mean, you could buy a 2-bedroom flat in Hampshire for £150,000. I mean, the first house I ever bought, I paid less than £150,000 for it. So it's a lot of money. But then, is it? Is it when you compare it to the 911, the 992 911 Turbo S? I think that starts at about 170, doesn't it? So another like 20-30 grand on top of this. And then when you consider as well that in real terms, okay, if someone was driving behind me in a Bugatti, he wouldn't be able to drive on the road, on UK roads, faster than this car. They would be the same, I reckon. So when you think about it like that, £150,000 for the ultimate dad car, maybe it's a good value for money. Just the way this thing corners as well, it's just got grips for days, hasn't it? Oh, it feels amazing. They do the Cross Turismo as well, don't they? Which again is just another really cool dad's car. But I mean, if I didn't need that extra space, I would go for this one, because to my eye, this aesthetically is better looking. It'd probably be better to get stuck in the boot of a Cross Turismo, wouldn't it? Wouldn't quite be so cramped and sweaty. Right, so we accelerate again, okay? God! Oh, I honestly feel like I need to make that noise just to like tense everything up. God, do I need to wear like those trousers that the pilots wear just to pump all the oxygen and keep it up? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. God, I'm struggling to explain to you just how ridiculous it is. Look, I just completely forgot. I'm driving this car, trying to stay conscious as all the blood gets pushed to the back of me. I just remembered how practical this car is. It's a 4-door. I could fit all 4 of my children in this car right now and take them out for a day of Dadcars fun. In a car that's got on-the-road performance of a Bugatti. Incredible. And as far as everybody else is concerned as well, is 0 emissions. So you're not going to float through a nice little 20-mile-an-hour sleepy town and have people throwing you grumpy looks because your naturally aspirated V12 engine is too loud for them. God, it really is the ultimate thing, isn't it? It really is the ultimate thing. I think eventually I will have one of these. I cannot afford it. I'm nowhere near being able to afford it. And to be honest, it would probably be like a 5-year-old Taycan 4S, probably. You know, once they come down to like a reasonable amount of money, that's probably what I'm gonna get one day. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my naturally aspirated V12 and hopefully maybe get a couple of other internal combustion engine cars. So where do you go after this? Where does Dadcars go after reaching the top of Mount Everest on my second month? I'm driving the ultimate dad car. Where do I go next? Well, you know what? I've really got a hankering to drive some lower value cars, some like sub 10, sub £5,000 cars. I reckon there's some really good, low value, exciting dad cars out there. I mean, I love Japanese sports cars from the 90s, although the price of those is going up a lot at the moment, but there's some really cool Japanese stuff. I love muscle cars. And you know, I love, there's loads of stuff out there. So look, if you're watching this and you live in Hampshire and you don't mind a trip to Portsmouth and you've got like an exciting sub 10k, sub 5k even, exciting car that you wouldn't mind me driving and reviewing on the channel, send me an email. Find me on Instagram, Dadcars88. Right, okay, ready? Ah! Oh my God! It honestly is painful. It is it's painful. It really does feel like teleportation. Feels like teleportation. Feels like time travel. Feels like something from a Star Wars film. Oh my God! This is just crazy. Oh, I could have my baby back there. 2 toddlers. Have my eldest up the front. Put a buggy in the boot. Probably a double buggy in the boot. God. And I think this is still an A to B car as well, isn't it? I mean, if you've got like a Lamborghini Aventador SV or something like that, like you probably wouldn't want to just go and drive that. So, I mean, wow, you'd only fit 1 child in it anyway, but say if you took that 1 child somewhere and parked up in just a normal car park, you'd probably come back and have like a dozen teenagers all leaning on your car and taking TikTok videos, wouldn't you? I mean, this still commands a lot of attention, don't get me wrong, but that's the nice thing. That's the nice thing about Porsches, isn't it? Same thing about Astons as well, really, is that, you know, they are quite understated. Understated, he says, in the car that looks this crazy, but you know what I mean, I'm sure. Right, okay, let's do it one more time. Oh, God, you need those huge brakes, don't you? And the brakes on this thing as well are crazy. Again, it's just like it pushes your brain and all your organs, and you're pinned to the back of the seat, and all the blood is pushed back. And then when you brake, it's all sucked right back forward again. I'm not exaggerating. That is honestly physically how it feels. Crazy thing. So in summary then, for the Taycan Turbo S, it is the ultimate dad car. It is the ultimate dad car. It is. But that's not to say that there's not loads of magical dad cars to be found at any budget. My car's worth like a quarter of this, and it's an incredible dad car. Whoa! See you later, cyclist. But then there's cars that are, you know, I've got on my channel. Check out my other videos. I've got cars which are like the third of the cost of my car, which are amazing, exciting dad cars. And then I do think that there's sub 5k dad cars that are exciting as well. But this is the ultimate. It's the ultimate. So look, sorry, that's a terrible summary, isn't it? But thank you so much for watching. I'm just speechless. Look, the blood's gone from my head. But thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video. Come on, let's see if we can get some more subscribers on this video. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. lifted up. I am not catching Steve's beautiful carbon fibre front lip. I will never, ever, ever forget this moment, this day. It really means the world to me. Thank you so much, Steve. You're an absolute legend. Christ, have I... You know what, I think... Have I got myself bloody lost? Bloody hope not. Okay, I can't take any more embarrassment today. I don't know anything.
That way or this way?
I don't know. I think I might be lost. I'm trying to get my way out of here.
Oh, right.
Do you know if the exit's anywhere near here?
Like
No. I just pulled over to. I've got lost, but thank you. All right. Goodness me, how much embarrassment can I take today? I think I'm just a bit overwhelmed with just how special today is. You know. Right, we're still in medium. What a day! I locked myself in the boot. What a silly sausage. Oh dear. Well, hopefully it'll make some good content, eh?
Silly daddy stuck in the boot.
Oh, I'm talking to myself in there.
I thought you must have gone over to the cafe over there. I was like, you've definitely gone over to the cafe. And then I just sent you a message saying to you, we might go for a quick burger at the cafe here, 2 minutes walk if you want to join us at 2. And then my wife's there. I was like, I don't know where he is, the keys. And then I was just in the house, I was like, he was talking about the boot. I was like, no, he can't have shot himself in the boot.
Yeah, can't be that much of an idiot, right? I got in and then I thought, because the keys are in the front, aren't they? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, hang on a second, should I get the keys just in case? No, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you could have opened the boot in the key.
I know, exactly. So then I pressed it. As it came down, I suddenly was like, hang on, I can't see no other, like,
Does that open it or not?
No.
Well, you probably wouldn't think you're going to be in the boot to open it, I guess.
No, but I always thought that there's like, you see those pull cords in the boots from
Oh,
like...
that's brilliant.
Oh. I was just saying...
You are going to have to get that in there somewhere.
Yeah.
With the time lag, 28 minutes.
I was just saying on the microphone, I was saying, look, it's fine. I'm just really hot and I'm super embarrassed when Steve comes out because that was the other thing. I was thinking, I know these seats go forward, but then there must be...
on the side.
Oh, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It must be like a button
hilarious.
on the key or something. So I was there, like, feeling around.
Well, anyway,
Oh, God, sorry about that.
and we can either go for a drive before or after. But we're not going to have a lot of time before now.
Well, I'll tell you what, so if you go for the burger then,
Do you
I will... No, don't worry about me.
Are you sure I was
Honestly.
going to say, do you want to grab...
Bless you, honestly, don't worry about me. I've got to make up that 28 minutes. God, I'm glad you're laughing. I was like,
you sure you don't want to grab a burger or drink?
no,
or anything?
honestly, I'll get the other shot.
It's got to be somewhere. It's at the cafe. But then I just talked to my wife and she's like...
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. Oh, I knew that was what I was saying on the mic as well. I said, look, it's fine. It's just embarrassing, and I'm wearing a grey t-shirt, so I'm going to come out looking really sweaty. Steve's been really nice.
It's quite funny that you've actually been in there for like...
28 minutes. Yeah.
Well, I just assumed I thought you might have seen the cafe and gone down, but I thought...
I mean, what sort of an idiot locks himself in the boot though, right?
Oh, it's quite funny. You know, when the lights change, it's actually quite fun. I use launch probably more than I should as a dad.
No, that is what it's all about, honestly.